25 years ago, it was the most expensive country in the world. It could still bust your bank today, but it doesn't have to be that way. My name is Brian Byer, and I've spent the last 5 years running up and down the country, seeing and doing all I can do. Every holiday, I get a small budget to have as much fun as possible with. But if I go over, I've got to use my own money to get home. From partying at the best bars and clubs in Tokyo, to exploring the tropical jungles and seas of Okinawa, and sandboarding and paragliding on the desert dunes of Totori. From sliding down waterfalls and jumping off bridges in Gunma, to ripping up the powder on the slopes of Nagano and Niigata. I'll take you there, and I'll show you how to stay cheaper and more comfortably than you thought possible. Ordinary is strictly prohibited, so get ready, because this is traveling on a dime. Welcome to Japan, the most expensive country in the world, or so everyone seems to believe. It's October, but the summer weather is still holding on, so we're going to take advantage of it while we can. This is Echigo Yuzawa in Niigata Prefecture. We drove here, but if you don't have a car, here are 2 budget options to get you here. If you live in or are traveling in Niigata Prefecture, you can ride the Joetsu bullet train at a 10% to 50% discount with the S-Kippu. A round trip between Niigata and Echigo Yuzawa is just 7,100 yen. Can't afford to take the bullet train? An Echigo 2-day pass will let you ride the local train from anywhere in Niigata as many times as you want over a 2-day period for just 2,500 yen. Coming from the Tokyo area? Check the Seibu Bus website and you could score a highway bus ride for as little as 2,500 yen. The purpose of any trip isn't where you went, but what you did there. Our budget today is 20,000 yen. A lot for a 1-day trip. But this isn't any ordinary 1-day trip. Welcome to Minakami. It's Japan's adventure capital. It's earned that name because there are so many rafting, climbing, and canoeing companies here to go with. But today we're going to do something way more exciting than that. Bungee jumping. That's right, bungee jumping. Have a look at this. There are only 2 permanent bungee bridges in all of Japan. This is the Suwakyo in Minakami. It's 42 meters tall, that's about 140 feet for those of you using the Imperial system, and it's the original Japan bungee bridge. It's got company now, though. This is the Sarugakyo. It only opened in June, and it's way prettier than the Suwakyo. It's also higher at 62 meters and more comfortable to jump off of. The rig allows you to jump and be retrieved in a seated position. It feels way more secure than the legs tied together rig at the Suwakyo, so I'm gonna jump here. Welcome to the Sarugakyo. This is Japan's 2nd permanent bungee bridge. It's 62 meters high and it only opened this year. I'm joined by one of the owners of Japan Bungee, David. Charlie Odinker. Odlin, I'm sorry. I know there's a lot of people watching the show right now that are going, oh my god, bungee jumping? You're crazy, I could never do that, but this is Japan. It might very well be the safest country in the world. What sort of safety rules and regulations do you have to comply in order to operate Japan Bungee?
Well, we basically base all our rules and standards around the New Zealand system, which is where it was established. Bungee jumping was originally established. And,
can you tell us anything about some of the more simple but most safety-oriented details, like what in particular makes it safer than?
Basically, the equipment that's to be used, something like bungee cords, you could probably jump 2,000-3,000 times on them, but based on New Zealand standards, we require each bungee cord after 500 jumps.
Wow, each bungee cord gets 500 jumps, my goodness. That's crazy.
Our goal is to be the safest bungee jump site on the world.
That's good to hear.
Yeah.
That's
I think it's quite important.
I agree.
Safety's safety is quite important.
Safety is paramount in jumping.
Yeah.
So when did you actually start Japan Bungee?
Bungee Japan started as a dream in around 2004,
Oh, wow.
and it became a reality in 2007.
So it's actually really quite young.
It's quite young. Yeah, I've been bungee jumping since '95, so 18 years.
Wow. How many times have you actually jumped? How many jumps do you have under your belt?
I lost count after 100. I reached 100 and then it's like, I don't need to jump anymore.
Alrighty then. Well, can I jump off the bridge?
Sure can.
All right, let's put this on.
Yeah, good on you.
Alright. If you've bungee jumped before, then you know what this feels like. But if you haven't, I can't tell you what it'll be like for you. This is my first ever bungee jump. I was jittery from my stomach to my knees, and my mind wouldn't stop torturing me with images of broken bungee cables. My legs wouldn't jump when it came time for me to jump, so I just had to do it, close my eyes and lean forward until I fell off of the bridge. For a second, it felt like jumping off of a diving board into a pool, and I expected it to take just as long. But when the elapsed time from jumping off a diving board passed, the acceleration kicked in, and everything I'd been worried about for the last 25 minutes simply disappeared. It was amazing. It's the fourth time I've gone bungee jumping, and the feeling of not wanting to do it now is stronger than it was the very first time I did it. But I'm here. I'm not backing out now. It's time to jump off a bridge.
Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Woohoo! Woohoo! Woo! Woohoo! Woohoo! Yeah, baby. Yeah.
My fourth ever bungee jump was exciting as ever. Normally a jump from the Surugakyo costs 10,000 yen per person, but I got to do it for 6,500 yen because I've already done it once this season. If you want a great deal, Bungee Japan offers you the chance to jump off both of their bridges for 14,000 yen. 2 jumps in one day. Think you can handle it? I only jumped once today, but after that my heart is still going 1,000,000 miles an hour. I need to chill. Anybody interested in some onsen? Well, this is it. The day ends here at Montenboshi no Yu Hot Springs on the shores of Lake Akadaniko. The outdoor bath here overlooks the water of Lake Akadani and the slopes surrounding it. It's the perfect place to end the day. We're well within our 20,000 yen budget, and if there's a better way to take advantage of the summer weather, I can't think of it. It just goes to show, with a little bit of research and an adventurous spirit, you too can travel on a dime. Right now I'm going to soak in as much of this onsen as I can. See ya. 界の一番高い国。その嘘を信じますか？やめて。こちらは越後湯沢。私たちは車で行きました。でもあなたは車がなければ、これから2つの経済的な出かける方法を紹介します。新潟県内に住んで旅行している場合は、S 切符で上越新幹線に乗れて 10% から 50% 割引をもらいます。新潟駅から越後湯沢駅までの往復 S 切符は7100円だけ。S 切符はあなたの予算に高すぎれば、越後2 day パスで全ての新潟県内の普通列車に自由に乗れます。2500円ばかりしかかからない。東京地方から来るか、西武バスのウェブを確認して、片道ハイウェイバスは2500円からです。今日の予算は2万円。普通の日帰り旅行のために高いすぎる。でも今日は普通の日帰りではない。みなかみへようこそ。たくさんのラフティングとクライミングとカヌーイングの会社がありますから、ここは日本の一の冒険の街です。でも今日私たちはそれよりもエキサイティングなことをする。バンジージャンプ。そう、バンジージャンプ。見て。日本でバンジージャンプができる橋は2つあります。こちらは諏訪峡大橋。高さ42メートル。諏訪峡大橋は日本の最初のバンジージャンプができる橋。今年の6月、恒例の猿ヶ京大橋開業しました。高さは62メートル。日本の一番高いバンジージャンプできる橋。猿ヶ京大橋のバンジージャンプ道具の使い方は、諏訪峡大橋の使い方よりも使いやすいですから、ここで飛び出しましょう。Welcome to the Sarugakyo. This is Japan's second permanent bungee bridge. It's 62 meters high and it only opened this year. I'm joined by one of the owners of Japan Bungee, David, Charlie Odinker. Odlin, I'm sorry. I know there's a lot of people watching the show right now that are going, oh my god, bungee jumping? You're crazy, I could never do that, but this is Japan. It might very well be the safest country in the world. What sort of safety rules and regulations do you have to comply in order to operate Japan Bungee?
Well, we basically base all our rules and standards around the New Zealand system,
Okay.
which is where it was established. Bungee jumping was originally established. And,
Can you tell us anything about some of the more simple but most safety-oriented details, like what in particular makes it safer than?
basically, the equipment that's to be used, something like the bungee cords, you could probably jump 2,000-3,000 times on them, but based on New Zealand standards, we retire each bungee cord after 500 jumps.
Wow, each bungee cord gets 500 jumps. My goodness, that's crazy.
Our goal is to be the safest bungee jump site in the world.
That's good to hear.
Yeah,
That's
I think it's quite important.
I agree.
Safety is quite important.
Safety is paramount in jumping
Yeah.
business. So when did you actually start Japan Bungee?
Bungee Japan started as a dream in around 2004,
Oh wow,
and it became a reality in 2007.
so it's actually really quite young.
It's quite young. Yeah, I've been bungee jumping since '95, so 18 years.
Wow. How many times have you actually jumped? How many jumps do you have under your belt?
I lost count after 100. I reached 100 and then it's like, I don't need to count anymore.
Alrighty then. Well, can I jump off the bridge?
Sure can.
Alright, let's get this on.
Yeah, good on you.
Alright. あなたはバンジージャンプしたことあったら、バンジージャンプの漢字の説明がいらない。でもあなたは初めてのバンジージャンプの場合、あなたは何の漢字か僕がわからない。僕の初めてのバンジージャンプの前に、僕の体がお腹から膝まで震えていた。私は本当にやりたくなかった。ケーブルが変わったら何をするか、何もできません。
バンジージャンプ時間が来たと足が動くことできなくなった。バンジージャンプをするために身を乗り出すしかなかった。最初にバンジージャンプはプールに飛び込むことのようです。1秒が経ってからジェットコースターの加速のスリルが爆発とすべての心配が消えた。今日は4回目のバンジージャンプでも初めてのバンジージャンプの前のやりたくない気分がある。本当にやりたくない。勇気を持つことしかない。今、バンジージャンプ時間です。飛び出すことしかない。飛び出そう。
Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Woohoo! 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 Yeah, baby.
4回目のバンジージャンプでも心がドキドキしています。一般に一つの猿ヶ京のバンジージャンプは1万円かかります。でも僕は今年2回目バンジージャンプしましたから3500円引きもらいました。経済的なプライスが欲しければジャパンバンジーは1日2つジャンププランをおすすめします。1万4000円で両方の橋、諏訪京大橋と猿ヶ京大橋でバンジージャンプができます。そんなに強いワクワクを使うことできますか？落ち着きたいですから温泉に行こうか。
これで終わります。こちらは赤谷高岸の隣の満天星の湯。ここで露天風呂から赤谷港の青い水と周りの森林で覆われた坂を見られます。今日2万円予算を守りました。もし行きたいところとやりたいことを勉強して冒険の感じを持ったらあなたも Traveling on a Dime ができます。これから僕は温泉を楽しみます。See ya! Welcome to Japan, the weirdest country in the world. Enough dicking around though. There's more where that came from, and it's a legitimate festival. Welcome to Traveling on a Dime. It's called the Hodare Matsuri, a fertility festival held in various forms and places all over Japan around the middle of March. But the biggest version of the festival is held in the small town of Tochio, here in my home of Niigata. As all the anatomically correct paraphernalia suggests, the Hodare Matsuri is a festival for women to pray for a successful pregnancy, for anyone else to pray that they find that special someone, and for a bountiful rice harvest. Once the women have been introduced and said their prayers, the 600-kilogram Hodare-sama idol is removed from its shrine and maneuvered onto a mikoshi float and strapped down. The women of the festival then take their places atop the mikoshi, and festival goers and festival staff bear them around the festival grounds while a monk chants and asserts that their prayers, and the prayers of everyone else at the festival, will be fulfilled. It's a different experience, but it's definitely worth seeing. Happy Penis Day. Japan is full of surprises, and all it takes to find them is a bit of research, some luck, and an adventurous spirit. What'll I get myself into next? Until then, see ya!
I was trying to play original music. They wanted Mickey Mouse Club instead.
Welcome to Japan, the most expensive country in the world. If that was true, my budget of 20,000 yen wouldn't be enough to cover a weekend of skiing here at Nozawa Onsen. But it does. In Colorado, you'd need more than half that just for a hotel. Welcome to Nagano, and welcome to Traveling on a Dime.
After a full day of snowboarding, there's nothing better than soaking in a hot spring. And that over there is Oyu, the largest, the oldest, and the most beautiful in all Nozawa. It's free, but you have to remember proper bathing etiquette. Take off all your clothes, bring your own soap and towel, and wash yourself off thoroughly before entering the bath. And if you're shy, you can still enjoy the hot springs at an Ashino-yu like this one. It's a perfect way to get better at the end of the day.
This is Ogama, the hottest spring in Nozawa Onsen. The water is so hot that the locals use it to cook vegetables and eggs. The minerals in the hot spring gives everything a unique flavor. Try it for yourself at any store. I didn't come to Nozawa just for the vegetables, though. I came for one of the 3 best fire festivals in Japan. This is the start of the Do-Sojin Matsuri. 5 beech trees are felled and paraded through the streets of Nozawa and erected on the festival grounds. Next, a wooden shrine known as a shaden is constructed, and a Do-Sojin, a god of safe travel that watches over travelers, is enshrined within the shaden by a priest from Kosoge Shrine. On the night of January 15th, a ceremonial torch is lit with a special set of firestones and carried by the 25 and 42-year-old men of Nozawa Onsen to the festival grounds, where a bonfire is then lit. 25 and 42 are considered unlucky ages in Japan, and the 25 and 42-year-olds of Nozawa Onsen dispel their bad luck during the Dosojin Matsuri. Welcome to the climax of the Dosojin Matsuri. After 3 days of building the Shaden, they're going to burn it to the ground. But it's going to be a fight to do so. Keep watching. It's a crazy festival. Over the next few hours, the boys and men of Nozawa Onsen attempt to set fire to the Shaden with pine bough torches thrown to them by the 42-year-olds on the roof of the Shaden, while the 25-year-old men guarding the bottom repel them. The spectacle can be quite violent, but despite this, there are relatively few injuries. All the while, the bonfire is advanced toward the Shaden by the Nozawa Fire Department. Once the bonfire reaches the Shaden, the 25 and 42-year-olds vacate their posts, and the Shaden is set alight in a prayer for a bountiful harvest, the dispelling of evil spirits, and health and prosperity in the coming year. The birth of firstborn sons are also celebrated with the construction and burning of the large Toro lantern poles. The Dosojin Matsuri is one of the most awesome cultural experiences Japan has to offer, and you don't have to bust the bank to go and see it. Traveling on your own dime takes research, luck, and an adventurous spirit. Where will those things take you next? See ya!